everyone. This is Sherry at Soul Conscious, and this is going to be your Soul Weather Weekly Forecast, where we're going to pull an oracle card and then a few cards, 3 cards on tarot, and clarify those cards. And of course, an emoji card. I pull emoji cards for most of my readings. If you've watched any of them before, I like to do emoji cards. I like to get feelings because that's how I read cards, is mostly through feeling, what feelings come through off of the cards. So we have, for this week, we have number 28, movement. And it's weird because that's like an ostrich, but it almost has the shell on it of a turtle, which was, like there's something on that ostrich's back. And strangely enough, there's that hot air balloon way off in the distance there. And it's like this kind of serene, almost like I'm getting travel. I'm really picking up on travel. So that's, especially that's movement, but with that hot air balloon and this ostrich having that, whatever that is on his back, like he's almost taking something with him, moving from one location to another, that it might be that there's some kind of travel that may come up this week, or relocation. You may have to relocate. It could be for work. It could be because of changes in your life situation. So as our feeling, our emoji, overall, not a bad feeling. That's not a bad feeling at all. It's kind of a feeling grateful, feeling blessed kind of energy. So we're going to go ahead and pull three cards and then get some clarifiers on these cards. We're using the Seer deck as the main baseline, and then we're going to use the Gilded Tarot as the clarifying deck. And the oracle cards I used, or that I'm using, is the Enchanted Map Oracle. I really like those quite a bit. I tend to use those most of the time because I do like the sacred, I love the sacred geometry, but it doesn't fit well for these readings, I think, which is why I think I needed something a little more picturesque, a little more artful, colorful, than just lines and shapes for these type of messages. So I'm seeing something we desire, kind of that wish, to start something new, but there's a decision that needs to be made. You're at a crossroads. That's what I'm really picking up. There's a crossroads about this change that's going to happen. And whatever that is, like, it's like you haven't decided. Like if you're wanting to go on a trip, you haven't decided yet whether you're really going to go on the trip and take the trip or not. So that could be the Two of Pentacles. It's something, that you're thinking practically about, which maybe you don't have the money yet to do it, which is why, you're coming at it as a Page of Pentacles, because you want to be a little bit practical about it if it's like a vacation or, taking time off work. But it's something you desire, and with this movement card, if it's like, if you're relocating, you're trying to, the Page of Pentacles is a card of the student, so you're trying to be practical about it and make sure that you're doing your research and doing your homework a little bit before you decide to do whatever this is that requires this movement, in the movement in whatever direction it is in your life, whether it's a change in a job or, a place to live, or if it's, even if it's something negative as far as like you and your significant other are breaking up and you have to relocate because of that, or it can be any, or the example I gave is a vacation, if you're thinking about traveling for a vacation. So we're going to go ahead and get some clarifier cards. I'm going to pull a couple clarifier cards on each one of these cards. We're going to start with that Nine of Cups on this, this desire that you have. So you have the Page of Cups. So it's still just talking about that. Definitely just compounding the fact that cups on cups, you know, it's something that you are kind of longing for, kind of wanting, as far as, it's not that passionate energy, but it's something that you're desiring, that that means a lot to you. Ace of Swords. So yeah, I'm really picking up with that Ace of Swords. You know, like I said, trying to, with the Page of Pentacles that was there, I'm really trying to get that that energy of researching and doing your homework, and trying to get the truth of the matter, as far as understanding whether whether this is something you should or shouldn't do. You're trying to gain clarity on that, whether this is something that, if you practically, responsibly can make this decision, and because you're up in the air about it. You don't know if this is going to be the right thing to do yet or not. You're hoping and wishing for it, but you're not quite sure, because that Two of Pentacles here, if it's a good idea yet or not. So clarifying that Page of Pentacles, we have the Nine of Pentacles, which is a very, very good, and the Nine of Swords. So some nines can be, we're moving toward the end of something. And I honestly, this is, I'm really picking up on this Nine of Pentacles energy and this Nine of Swords energy. They're very conflicting energies. They're kind of almost opposites. And so it's almost, I really am picking that up when you're trying to do this research. It's what I said. Is it practical or not? Are you being responsible? Can you responsibly take this without, it having a negative impact on you? Which is, I'm surprised this came out on that Page of Pentacles versus the Two of Pentacles, but I can see it on that Page of Pentacles too, because, that's that doing your homework. That's trying to figure out the situation. So yes, when you're trying to figure out the situation, it's, as you're looking at it and dreaming and wishing about it, of course you're going to feel good. You're going to, you're going to feel free, because that Nine of Pentacles energy, because you're taking charge of your life. You're trying to do something that makes you happy, that you're desiring to do. But there might be some complications, and with the complications is what's causing that Nine of Swords, that anxiety. Can you do it or can you not? Because you are researching it and trying to figure out if this is something you can do. Can you leave your partner feasibly, practically, financially? Are you able to strike out on your own? If you change jobs, the stress of, whatever that entails to change jobs, or to relocate to a new place to live, if you're moving to a new place to live, or even if it's a vacation, taking a vacation, whether you have the money or the time off work to do that, can you do it? Can you make everything happen? And then on the Two of Pentacles, we have the Moon card. So we'll see what's hidden, what goes with that Moon card. Okay, I'm feeling this card right there. So we have the Moon with the Knight of Wands. So you're really, there's where that fire and that desire comes in. So you're wanting to have, you're desiring to make this happen. So in your Moon energy, there's a little bit on that Two of Pentacles. What's clarifying it is kind of hidden, that you want to act impulsively. You want to just rush toward this. You want to, act impulsively and just do it because it's something you want really bad. And there's this part of you that is really, like, I should just do it. But then there's this other part of you. It's like when you see like the angel and devil sitting on someone's shoulder. I'm getting that image coming through really clearly right now of you've got like one voice in your ear saying, you got to be responsible about this. You need to do this. You can't just do that. You can't just take off and go. You can't. You need to do your homework. Let's do this the responsible way. But then there's this other voice in your ear that or in your head that is sitting there saying, let's just do it. Let's just throw caution to the wind and do it. And that energy is sitting under your moon, your hidden energy, because it's like that part of you is kind of winning out a little bit. I'm seeing that side's kind of winning out, because I think that when you're doing this research, it's putting you in that little bit of Nine of Swords energy, because you're maybe thinking, it's stressing you out. And when it starts stressing you out, you're like, I'll just do it anyway. And we'll just figure it out as we go along. That's what I'm really picking up on. So I think that's it. I think that's the message that wanted to come through for this week. This week's message, if you're in this kind of energy and it's resonating with you, if you're in the middle of getting ready to move, and you know what, I think that we need an outcome, or an advice. I think this actually needs some advice. Not going to leave it there. I think this really needs some advice because you're kind of on the fence. So I think the question we need to ask is should you be responsible about this? Should you take the time and be patient? Should you take the time, or should you just trust the universe to, does the universe have your back, on making this move, whatever it may be? So no, the universe is saying that you need to do your homework. You need to, because you have the Two of Swords with the Knight of Swords and the Six of Pentacles. So what I'm really picking up is that that you're gonna have to balance things out, and there's things hidden from you right now that you're not seeing. With that Two of Swords, you got the blindfold on. There's things that you're not seeing yet. So you want to, the Six of Pentacles, it's a reciprocity card and a balancing things up, an even give and take kind of energy. So when I ask that question, it's telling me that the universe is saying, yeah, I got your back, but you need to check everything, especially with that Knight of Swords. Don't move. The Knight of Swords can be a very fast moving energy, but it's swords, and it's usually the swords, to me, especially with this Ace of Swords, is that truth and clarity. Gain clarity first on the situation, because there might be some things that are hidden with that Two of Swords indicating you have the blindfold on. There may be some things hidden from you that you're not seeing quite yet. And before you take action, before you move quickly toward this, make sure that, that you see everything, that you take that blindfold off and you see everything that's going on with the situation. And then it should all work out. I see with that Six of Pentacles, kind of that overall, it's that balancing of the scales. It's not going to be like a huge win or a huge negative either. It's going to be, it's all going to go, I feel that as a smooth energy, like a neutral energy. Things will just go the way they're meant to go. That's what I'm really feeling, is they'll just go the way they're meant to go. So that's what I have for this week. I hope you enjoyed this message. And if you did, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate everyone that supports my channel. I thank anyone that took the time to join me this week. Thank you so much. Or whenever you find this video and you're watching it, thank you so much. I appreciate everyone that takes time out of their busy schedule to share their time with me.